Lesson 17 is about factors, coefficients, terms, and something called the distributive property. If the form in which a combination of variables and constants are written is an expression, indicates that the variables and constants are to be multiplied, we say that the expression is an indicated product. If we write 4xy, each of the symbols, the 4, the x, and the y, is said to be a factor in the product. Any one factor in the product can also be called the coefficient of the other factors. So we could say, for instance, I'm going to get my pen, we could say that 4 is the coefficient, I'm going to abbreviate that, of x and y. Okay, we could also say x is the coefficient of 4y, etc. We could say y is the coefficient of 4x. Okay, usually we use the word coefficient merely to mean the numerical coefficient, which is 4. Okay, terms. A term is an algebraic expression that consists of a single variable or a single constant. 4 is a term. X is a term. A term is also the indicated product or quotient of variables and or constants. This is a product of a constant and a variable, and it's a term. This is a product of a quotient and a quotient at the same time. We have a product in the numerator, and we're dividing that product by p. And this also is a quotient. We have a two-term numerator, and we're dividing that by m. These are all terms. Okay, the distributive property gives us a way to multiply when we have variables and numerals in the same expression. The distributive property lets us do that. Here, the way we normally do this is to begin in the parentheses. 5 minus 3 is 2. When there's no sign in between the 4 and the parentheses, we know we're multiplying. 4 times 2 is 8. The distributive property says that I can multiply 4 by 5, and I can also multiply 4 by 3. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 3 is 12. 20 minus 12 equals 8. I therefore get the same exact answer whether I add the numbers in the parentheses first and then multiply, or whether I distribute the 4 to each of the numbers in the parentheses and then subtract. And that helps us with expressions that have variables in them. Okay, so we're going to use the distributive property here to do this. So I'm going to multiply the 4 by the 6. I'm going to subtract the 4 times the 2. I'm going to multiply the 4 times the 5 and add that product, and then I'm going to subtract the 4 times the 7. So here I have 24 minus 8 plus 20 minus 28. I think I'll add my positive numbers first. 24 and 20 is 44. And my negative numbers next. I'm going to have 36 as a negative. 44 minus 36 is 8. And we'll just check to see if we would have gotten it the same way if we'd added first in the parentheses. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 minus 7 is 2. 4 times 2 also equals 8. So you can see that the distributive property even works when there are more than two numerals in the parentheses. Now, when we use the distributive property to expand this, we have all variables except in this term in the parentheses there's a 2. We multiply mn then times x. We add, use the plus sign, mn times y, and then plus mn times 2p. Okay, normally we put these in alphabetical order. These already are. We want to put the numeral, the numerical coefficient first all of the time. And we have, sorry, that n doesn't look very good. I think I'll get rid of it actually and make a better n. Okay, and we have 2 MNP then. In the last examples, we're going to multiply this by MP, even though what the quantity that we're going to distribute is in the back. We still distribute it to each term in the parentheses. So we're going to multiply MP times X. We're going to subtract, multiply MP times 3Y. And we're going to multiply MP times XZ. And again, we want to put everything in our answer in alphabetical order. We want to rearrange this so that the numerical coefficient is first and MPXZ. And that's the best answer. Okay, now we have a numeral instead of a variable that has to be distributed to each term in the parentheses. We're going to do -3 times 2x minus -3 times 4. Okay, this is the minus from here. This is the negative that's with the 3. -3 times a +2 is a -6x. Double negative is going to make that product positive, and 3 times 4 is 12, and that's your answer. This concludes lesson 17.